In this video, I will solve the problems on the stiffness matrix for 1D bar element, that is the effect of temperature. Let delta T be the rise in temperature and alpha be the coefficient of thermal expansion. Hence, the nodal force vector due to rise in temperature is the member is given by because of the rise in the temperature and the coefficient of thermal expansion, the nodal force vector due to rise in temperature is given by F is equal to E A alpha delta T minus 1 where E is Young's modulus, A is the area of thermal expansion and alpha is coefficient of thermal expansion, delta T is temperature difference. Therefore, the thermal stresses are given by sigma is equal to E into du by dx minus E alpha delta T, and for element 1, the stress in element 1 sigma 1 equal to E1 U2 minus U1 divided by L1 minus E1 alpha 1 delta T, and in element 2 the stress induced in element 2 due to the thermal expansion sigma 2 is equal to E2 U3 minus U2 divided by L2 minus E2 alpha 2 delta 2, where alpha 1 and alpha 2 are the coefficient of thermal expansion. See, if any problems, if the temperature and coefficient of thermal expansion is given in the problem, you have to remember all this formula for solving the problems. That is very important. And next, with the help of this, I will solve first problem. An axial load P is equal to 300 into 10 power 3 Newton is applied at 20 degrees Celsius to the rod as shown in the figure. The temperature is then raised to 60 degrees Celsius. Assemble the global stiffness matrix K and the global load vector F. And the second one is determine the nodal displacements and element stresses. This is very important. So actually this was asked in the previous examination. Here clearly this is a problem on effect of temperature. We have to find out the assemble the global stiffness matrix and global load vector as well as the nodal displacement and element stresses vectors. So first note down the data, and the figure is given. This is actually the figure shows that it is a stepped bar, and it consists of 2 elements and 3 nodes. Node 1 and node 3 is fixed, and at node 2 there is an axial force of P equal to 300 into 10 power 3 Newton of the axial tensile force is acting at node number 2, and the length of element 1 is given 200 mm and length of element 2 is given 300 mm, and area of these two stepped bar is given. Area for cross section of first bar is given, that is 900 mm square, and area of cross section of bar 2 is given, that is 1200 mm square, and E1 equal to 70 into 10 power 9 Newton per mm square. And coefficient of thermal expansion for both the bars is given. Alpha is equal to 23 into 10 power minus 6 per degree Celsius. Alpha 2 equal to 11.7 into 10 power minus 6 per degree Celsius is given. And therefore the rise in the temperature is equal to, for this bar, here look at here, it is applied at the temperature is given that 20 degrees Celsius to the rod, and the temperature is then raised to 60 degree. Subtract if you want, therefore delta T will become 60 minus 20 is 40 degrees Celsius. The very first step in to solve the problems by temperature thermal stresses problem, first finite element model. You have to model this or discretize this stepped bar into 1D bar element. The finite element model of the stepped bar is given by, therefore after discretization process I will get 1D bar element having consist of 2 elements, each element having 2 nodes. Element 1, the length of element L1 is given, that is 200 mm, and in element 1 each node has 1 degrees of freedom, and since at node 1 Q1 be the nodal displacement at node 1 and Q2 be the nodal displacement at node 2, and second element consists of 2 nodes, node 2 and node 3. Each node has 1 degrees of freedom, hence at node 2 the nodal displacement is Q2 and Q3 be the nodal displacement at node 3, and here at node 3 the axial force is acting in x direction. Therefore, second step is the and after finite element model, and the force acting at node 1 will be F1, let and F2 be the force acting at node 2, and the magnitude of the force acting at node 2 is given, that is how much, that is total P is equal to the value of the force acting at node 2, 300 into 10 power 3, and next the force acting at node 3 is 0. Okay, because the forces applied at node 1 and node 3 are fixed. Because of that reason, force acting at node 1 and node 3 is always equal to 0. And the second step is element stiffness matrix. Since in the finite element model it consists of two elements, separately find out what is the stiffness matrix for element 1 is given by Ke is equal to Ae Le 1 minus 1. We know that this formula already, we know that Ke is equal to Ae by Le 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. And similarly for element 1 aluminium, okay, substitute all the values, Young's modulus, area and length of the element is given, and simplify this equation. Finally I will get answer 10 power 5 3.15 minus 3.15 minus 3.15 3.15, and you can give the numbering for this, the element stiffness matrix for element 1. So look at here, element 1 consists of two nodes. Okay, there are 2 degrees of freedom and 2 nodal displacement will be there for element 1, and you can give the numbering 1 2 1 2 1 2. Next, similarly find out the element stiffness matrix for element 2, that is K2, matrix K2 equal to Ae by Le. Area of cross section of ball 2 is given 1200, and Young's modulus value is given 2 into 10 power 5 divided by 300, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, and just after simplifying this value I will get 10 power 5 8 minus 8 minus 8 8. Since element 2 consists of two nodes, node 2 and node 3, at node 2 the displacement is Q2, at node 3 the displacement is Q3. Okay, hence we can give the numbering 2 3 2 3. Next, global stiffness matrix. The global stiffness matrix for the stepped bar is given by K is equal to K1 plus K2. Therefore K is equal to 10 power 5 is common in both the matrix 1 and 2, 10 power 5 outside. Since in the given problem it is a stepped bar consists of 3 nodes, okay, hence we will get the global stiffness matrix. The rank of the matrix is 3 cross 3 matrix, and it is a symmetric matrix. Okay, and draw 3 rows and 3 columns, 1 2 3, do the numbering 1 2 3. First we need the element corresponding to node 1, column 1, row 1 and column 1. The element we need element corresponding to column 1 and row 1, column 1 and row 1. Since in matrix 1 the element corresponding to row 1 and column 1 is 3.15, but in matrix 2 there is no element corresponding to column 1 and row 1. And next, that's why therefore the element corresponding to row 1 and column 1 is 3.151. Next, the element we need element corresponding to column 2, row 1, column 2 in but the element corresponding to column 2 and row 1 is minus 3.1, but the element corresponding to first row, second column, there is no element present in matrix 2, hence minus 3.15. Next, I need element corresponding to column 3 and row 1. In matrix 1 there is no element corresponding to column 3 and row 1, hence it is 0. But in case of matrix 2, the element corresponding to node 3 and the element corresponding to column 3 and row 1 is not there. Okay, hence it is 0 directly. Next, it is because of symmetry, The property of global stiffness matrix, it is symmetric in nature. Okay, because of that reason you can write the same value minus 3.15 and 0. Next, we need the element corresponding to second row, second column. In the matrix 1, the element corresponding to second row, second column is 3.15, plus the element corresponding to, in the matrix 2 also there is an element corresponding to second row, second column is 8 is there. 8 plus 3.15 is total 11.5. Next, we need element corresponding to second row, third column. Second row, third column. The element corresponding to second row and third column is not there. Okay, in matrix 1, but in case of element 2, the element corresponding to second row, the element corresponding to second row, third column, the element corresponding to second row, third column, minus 8 is there. Therefore, here minus 8. And because of symmetric in nature, okay, we can written here as minus 8 here. Next, we need the element corresponding to column 3 and row 3. We need element corresponding to 3 and 3, column 3 and row 3. But in matrix 1 there is no element corresponding to 3 and 3, but the element corresponding to column 3 and row 3 is there, 8 is there. Here I will write it as 8. Okay. And I will get global stiffness matrix of rank 3 cross 3, it is symmetric matrix. And next, find out global nodal displacement vector is given by Q is equal to Q1, Q2, Q3. And next, this is our the nodal displacement vector. Next find out element load vector. For element 1, the element load vector, because it is a thermal problem, therefore the force vector become F1 and F2 equal to, we know this formula already, F1 F2. The thermal coefficient is given, you have to use this formula for calculating force vector. Therefore F1 F2 equal to E1 A1 alpha 1 delta T minus 1 1, and Young's modulus value is given, that is E1 for first bar is given 17 to 10 power 3, and area of cross section for bar 1 is given 900, and our coefficient of thermal expansion is given 23 into 10 power minus 6, and delta T is given, that is delta T is already calculated, 60 minus 20 is 40 and minus 1 1, and after simplify this equation, finally I will get the answer is F1 F2 equal to F1 equal to minus 57,960 newtons, and F2 is 57,960 plus 57,960. Similarly, find out for element 2 what is the force vector. Therefore F2 F3 equal to E2 A2 alpha 2 delta 2 minus 1 1. Substitute all the values from the given data and simplify the equation, and I will get what is the force vector for element 2. Therefore F2 F3 equal to minus 1,12,320 and 1,12,320. The answer for this, the force vector for element 2. And next, the global load vector for the stepped bar is given by F is equal to the global load vector. You have to add both the vectors for element 1 and element 2 together. Therefore F is equal to F1 F2 F3. Therefore F1 is given minus 57,960, and as F2 is here, F2 in both the force vector F2 is there, 57,960 minus 1,12,320 plus and 300 into 10 power 3, that is 300 into 10 power 3. This is very important. Coefficient of thermal expansion, that is 300, because the force at node 2 will be there, that is 300 kilonewton is given. You have to add it at F2 at node 2, 3 plus 300 into 10 power 3, and F3 is 1,12,320, and after adding and simplify the equation, finally I will get global load vector F is equal to minus 57,960, 2,45,640, 1,12,320. Force at node 2 is positive because it's acting along the positive direction of x. Force at node 2 is positive because of it is acting along the positive x direction. Because of that reason I added at node 2 here. And next, equilibrium condition. We know that equilibrium condition for the structural bar is equal to K into Q is equal to F. K is global stiffness matrix, what we already calculated here. Global stiffness matrix, that is this matrix. Copy the same matrix from here, what we calculated. And next, the Q is Q1, Q2, Q3 is equal to force vector. Here same what we are calculated here. Copy the same values here. And next, apply the boundary condition. Since the boundary condition for this problem, Q1 and Q3 is fixed, node 1 and node 3 is fixed. Using elimination method, handling boundary condition, eliminating corresponding row and column 2, therefore eliminating first row, first column, and third row, third column, the remaining value I will get Q2 into 11.15 into Q2 into 10 power 5 equal to 2,25,640, and after simplifying this equation, Q2 is equal to 0.22 mm, and therefore the nodal displacement vector is equal to Q is equal to 0, 0.22 and 3, Q3. Q1 and Q3 are fixed, because of that reason Q1 and Q3 equal to 0. Q2 is already we calculated from the equilibrium equation. Next, thermal stresses is given by sigma is equal to E into du by dx minus E alpha delta T. For element 1, sigma 1 is equal to E1 U2 minus U1 divided by L1 minus E1 alpha 1 delta T. Substitute the values. E1 is 70 into 10 power 3. U2 is the nodal displacement at node 2, that is U2 is nothing but Q2 only, 0.22 is already here, and U1 is 0 because there is no nodal displacement at node 1 is 0, divided by 200, length of element is given, minus Young's modulus of element 1 is 17 to 10 power 3, quotient of thermal expansion over bar 1 is given, that is 23 into 10 power minus 6, into delta T is given, that is 40. Therefore, after simplifying this all the values in the calculator, finally sigma 1 I will get 12.6 megapascal. Similarly, for element 2, find out what is the stress induced in element 2. Next, we know that this formula E2 U3 minus U2 divided by L2 minus E2 alpha 2 delta T. E is the Young's modulus for bar 2 is given, that is 2 into 10 power 5. U3 and U2 are the nodal displacement at node 3 and nodal displacement at node 2 divided by L2. U3 is 0 because it is fixed, and U2 is minus 0.22 and L2 is 300, and E2 we know that 2 into 10 power 5 into 11.7 into 10 power minus 6, and delta T is 40, and simplify this equation, finally the answer, the stress induced in element 2 sigma 2 is equal to minus 240.27 megapascal. So this is the final answer. This is the problem on thermal problems on irrigation step bar problem. It is very, very important. You will get this same problem. It was repeatedly asked in the previous year examination question paper, and it carries for 10 marks. It's very, very important. 10 marks. Remember this. Practice this problem more for the examination point of view. It carries for 10 marks. Next problem on penalty approach method. Consider the bar shown in the figure. An axial load P equal to 60 into 10 power 3 Newton is applied at its midpoint. We'll stop. Using elimination method and penalty method of handling boundary condition, determine nodal displacement and support reactions. See, this is the problem, and this bar, the one end of the bar, it is attached with one roller support is there, and the area of cross section of the bar is given 250 mm square, and Young's modulus is given 200 gigapascal. So, and the displacement of the bar is given, that is 0.12 mm. Okay, and using elimination method and penalty method of handling boundary condition, determine what is the nodal displacement and support reaction for this problem. See, here first step is finite element model. See, first you have to discretize this bar
into 1D bar element. And see, after discretization process consists of two elements, element 1 and element 2. Element 1 consists of two nodes, node 1 and node 2, and element 2 consists of node 2 and node 3. Let Q1 be the nodal displacement at node 1 and Q2 be the nodal displacement at node 2 and Q3 be the nodal displacement at node 3, and let F1 be the force acting at node 1 and F2 be the force acting at node 2. That is, magnitude of the force acting at node 2 is given, that is 60 kilonewton, and the force acting at node 3 is not given, equal to 0, and the length of element 1 is given, that is 150 mm, and the length of element 2 is given 150 mm, and the gap between the free end of the bar and the support is given, the distance is given, that is 0.12 mm. The displacement, that is Q3 equal to, you can take Q3 equal to 0.12 mm is given. And the first step is find out element stiffness matrix. We know that K is equal to AE by LE 1 minus 1 minus 1. Since it consists of the given problem, the step bar is consist of two elements in the finite element model step. Find out the elements to two element stiffness matrix. For first element, K is equal to AE by LE. Area of cross section is of the bar is given 250 and Young's modulus is given 2 into 10 power 5 divided by 150, 1 minus 1 minus 1, and take 10 power 5. After simplifying this equation, I will get 10 power 5 3.33 minus 3.33, 10 power 5 outside minus 3.33, 3.33, and give the numbering for this matrix. Because element 1 having two nodes, at Q1 be the nodal displacement at node 1 and Q2 be the nodal displacement at node 2, hence you can give the numbering 1 2 1 2. Next, for element 2, the element stiffness matrix for element 2 is AE by LE 1 minus 1 minus 1. A is area of cross section is given 250, Young's modulus is given 2 into 10 power 5, and length of element 2 is given, that is 150, and multiplied with 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, and finally the answer for this matrix is, after simplification, 10 power 5 is common, and 3.33 minus 3.33 minus 3.33 plus 3.33, and give the numbering for this matrix. See, the element 2 consists of two nodes, node 2 and node 3. Q2 is the nodal displacement at node 2 and Q3 be the nodal displacement at node 3, and give the numbering 2 3 2 3. Give the numbering 2 3 2 3. And next, global stiffness matrix is given by, we know that K is equal to K1 plus K2. Add both the matrix, and because since in the given problem the bar consists of three nodes, hence the rank of the matrix what we are obtaining, the answer is 3 cross 3 matrix. The property of global stiffness matrix is symmetry, hence write 3 cross 3 matrix and write the matrix 3 rows and 3 columns 1 2 3 1 2 3. First, we need element corresponding to column 1 and row 1. In the matrix 1, the element corresponding to first column first row is 3.3, but in matrix 2 there is no element corresponding to first column first row, hence 3.33. Next, we need element corresponding to row 1 and column 2. In matrix 1, the element corresponding to second column and first row is minus 3.33, but there is no element corresponding to second column and first row, hence minus 3.33. Next, we need element corresponding to first row third column, but in matrix 1 there is no element corresponding to first row third column. In matrix 2 also there is no element corresponding to first row third column, hence I will take it as 0. Because of symmetric matrix, property of global stiffness matrix is symmetric in nature, write the same value here in the first column minus 3.33 0 0. Next, we need element corresponding to second row second column. In the matrix 1, the element corresponding to second row second column is 3.33 is there, plus, and the element corresponding to second row second column 3.33. Add 3.33 and 3.33, I will get directly 6.66, I return directly. Next, the element corresponding to second row third column second row, third column, second row, third column. There is no element corresponding to second row, third column in the matrix 1, but there is an element corresponding to second row, third column, that is minus 3.33. Okay, because of symmetry, I will write it here minus 3.33. Next, we need element corresponding to third row, third column. In matrix 1, there is no element corresponding to third row, third column, but in matrix 2, there is an element corresponding to third row, third column, that is 3.33. I will write it here. Next, global nodal displacement vector is given by Q is equal to Q1, Q2, Q3. This is the nodal displacement vector. We know that. First, by using elimination method, handling boundary condition, the global load vector is given by, since the figure we can see that the gap between node 2 and support at the right hand is 0.12 mm. The force at node 3 cannot be equal to 0 because there is a gap will be there. There is a possibility of displacement will be there. It should not be equal to 0. Therefore, the load vector calculation, you should remember this formula: F is equal to F1 minus K13A3, F2 minus K23 into A3, F3 minus K33A3, K13, K23, K33 are the elements from the global stiffness matrix. You can take that value and multiply this equation with A3, where A3 is the maximum displacement, that is 0.12 mm is given. Next, equilibrium condition KQ is equal to FU. We know that K is the global stiffness matrix what we calculated. Take from that equation, that is global stiffness matrix, the same value copy here. K and Q is Q1, Q2, Q3, and force vector is F1 minus K13A3 minus F2 minus K23A3, F3 K33 into A3. See, always remember, if any gap problem is given in the problem, you have to, for the force vector, you have to subtract that force vector with the stiffness force, that is K13A3 for first row, for subtract for force 2, F2 with the force vector stiffness vector force as K23A3, and for third column F3 minus K33A3. Okay, and next, apply boundary condition. Since node 1 and node 3 is fixed, using elimination method, handling boundary condition, eliminating first row, first column, and third row, third column, the remaining value I will get 6.6 into 10 power 5 into Q2 is equal to F2 minus K23 into A3. Substitute the value 6.6 into 10 power 5, Q2 we don't know, but force acting at node 2 is 16 to 10 power 3, and K23 is the K23 value from the global stiffness matrix. K23 is second row, third column, second row, third column, that is minus 3.33 from the global stiffness matrix. Take that value, 3 minus 3.33 into 10 power 5 into 0.12, and after simplifying this equation I will get Q2 value as 0.15 mm. Next, the nodal displacement vector Q is equal to Q1 is 0, Q2 is 0.15, and Q3 is 0.12 mm. This is the final answer for nodal displacement vector. Next, the support reaction. We know that R is equal to K into Q minus F. Therefore, it is 3 cross 3 matrix. We are getting 3 support reaction R1, R2, R3. K is nothing but global stiffness matrix. Directly copy the what we calculated global stiffness matrix. Copy the same values here. Q is the nodal displacement vector, that is here 0, 0.15, 0.12, minus force vector 0, 16 to 10 power 3. Simplify this equation. Finally, I will get R1 equal to minus 49.97 10 power 3 newtons. R2 is 0 and R3 is minus 10.0019 into 10 power 3. See, it is very small, and reaction force at R1 and at node 1 and node 3 also is approximately equal to 0 also. Okay, and next we are asking to solve the same problem by using penalty method, the same step, but in the equilibrium equation we know that KQ is equal to F. Substitute the global stiffness determined already, we already calculated. Take the same values, and vector Q, displacement vector is Q1, Q2, Q3, force vector F1, F2, F3. See here, apply the boundary condition by elimination with penalty approach method. Q1 and Q3, Q1 value equal to 0, Q3 value is already calculated 0.12 mm. Using penalty method by handling boundary condition, the stiffness matrix is given by, we know that this formula you should remember, C is equal to maximum of matrix Kj into 10 power 5 maximum of kh is nothing but the maximum value of the global stiffness matrix is, that is 6.66. That is, take that 6.66 into 10 power 5 into 10 power 4. Therefore the maximum of spring stiffness for the stiffness matrix C is equal to 6.66 into 10 power 9. Since the stiffness matrix, what answer is getting 6.66, the C value is added to the fixed nodes 1 and node 3 for the global stiffness matrix. Here you can add here for first element A1 1, that is 3.33 plus C here, and you can add here because node 3 is also there is a possibility of node 3 is also fixed 3.33 plus C1, and along with that we should add to the force, that is spring force, to the node 1 corresponding nodal nodes in the, that is F1 plus CA1, and for node 3 also F3 plus CA3. Okay, here look at it, the force vector is given by, after adding C value to here in the global stiffness matrix 3.33 plus C, 3.33 plus C here. After simplification I will get answer 10 power 5. The answer I will get like this. And next, for force vector, added F1 plus CA1 plus F2 as it is F3 plus CA3, and substitute all the values. A1 equal to Q1 equal to 0, A3 equal to Q3 equal to 0.12 mm is there, and substitute all the values here in this equation. Finally I will get force vector. Again rewrite the equilibrium equation, KQ is equal to F, modified K equation, take that global these values here, and Q is Q1, Q2, Q3, and force vector is 0, 60 into 10 power 3, 799.96 into 10 power 6. On simplifying this equation I will get three set of equations, and solve all the three set of equation. Finally the answer what I am getting is, Q1 is equal to 7.5 10 power minus 6, Q2 is 0.15 mm, Q3 is 0.12 0015 mm, and therefore Q matrix is 7.5 into 10 power minus 6, Q2 is 0.15, Q3 is 0.12 is the final answer for this problem. And lastly, the support reaction for by penalty approach method. Therefore the reaction forces at the support is given by R1. This is the standard formula, minus C into Qi minus Ai, where I is the fixed nodes numbers for support reaction. Because node 1 and node 3 is fixed, wherever the fixed ends is there, always we need to find out the support reaction in case of penalty approach method. That is R1 is equal to minus C into Q1 minus A1. We know that Q1 C is already we know minus 6.66 into 10 power 9, and Q1 at nodal displacement at node 1 is 7.5 into 10 power minus 6, and A1 is 0. And simplify this equation, the answer I will get R1 equal to minus 49979 newtons, and reaction at support 3 is minus R3 equal to minus C into Q3 minus A3. Substitute all the values here. Finally the answer what I am getting, R3 is equal to minus 116.64 newtons is the final answer. This is the very important problem for the examination point of view.